What's up, man? What's the deal? Welcome to Stand on the Media. Salute to my Stand on the Media family out there. Salute. Happy Monday to everyone, man. I know it's been a long time, man, since I did a video since last week, but I'm here now, man. I hope everybody had a great weekend and an even better week to come. You know, I really mean it. If you are new to my channel, man, much appreciated. Do me a favor, though. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment in this video. Please share the video. Hit that notification bell. You will be notified when I drop these videos. So, look, we're going to get to the content. But if you came here solely for the content, fast forward 5-6 minutes, that should get you to where you want to be. To everybody else that's staying around, man, thank you. I appreciate you. I know you appreciate my insight on stuff, and I appreciate you, especially the ones in the comment section, man, that give me input back. I appreciate that, man, because I'm figuring this stuff out along the way like you guys are. So I just want to say thank you. Salute to District 13. I just dropped the video for y'all to hear on District 13, the home front, man. Salute to them. Salute to Danny. Salute to Phoenix, man. Let me just say this. Salute to them queens, man, for what they built on Clubhouse single-handedly with District 13 outside of the 100 ENT show. Man, in this short period of time, they built something that is indestructible. It has integrity. You have a room of structure, solidarity, people who support each other, have love for each other. Not everybody has to like each other, get along with each other, but everyone respects each other. And you can see a lot of genuine love there. You know, actual members meeting up to hang out, support each other for their birthdays. Man, all of that, man, what it's supposed to be on Clubhouse. So salute to Danny and salute to Phoenix J, the two queens that's running things over there. And salute to the kings over there, the Rock Studies, the 313s, the Crazy Eds, the Dukes, the Geeky O, the Florida Boy. That's my guy too. Florida, salute. SS over there, man. Salute to you too, queen. But salute that chicken, man. I don't want to forget a name. If I don't say your name, it's a lot of y'all. I said, man, I'm telling you, the squad is strong on Clubhouse. You might want to go check them out. District 13. Let's get it. But anyway, while we here though, I want to and salute to everybody I didn't mention, right? What's my girl name? Tiff. Salute to Tiff. Tiff probably don't even know that I rock with her and support her on there, but I do, man. Salute to you, Tiff. But to the whole team, man, salute. But I want to get to why we here, man. We here because let me shout them out. I want to make sure I get these flowers because these flowers are due. Salute to the It's Up There podcast, man. I discovered him not too long ago, and I reacted to one of his videos, and it blew me away. To his attention to detail on what's going on with this indictment with Big U, and I love his take and his perspective on it, and because you can tell, man, no, he ain't from California. He may not be from Cali. He may not be from them streets, but he understands them because he is that where he grew up in that environment where he's from. Whether if he dabbled in it or not, I don't know. That's not my business. But you can tell he understands. He's knowledgeable about what's going on, and he has a real fair take on the subject matter, and I respect it. So when I seen he put a video out, I said, man, I got to click on it. I haven't even watched it, so we're gonna watch it together. We're gonna react to it together. But my man be on point, man. So salute to the It's Up There podcast, and the video he put out, he says, how no Jumper and Wack 100 clips buried Big U and Brick Baby. Man, powerful description of this video that he did, man. But listen, I tend to agree that they single-handedly did that, but it's not just him or them. It's 600. It's any of these other millions, man, the Flacos of the world, man. Any of these people, man, who are perpetuating this COINTELPRO energy. in this movement that they have, hip hop police, anybody that's involved with that, man, we calling you all out. You all share that burden and responsibility of taking someone down who was a leader in his community, who took care of his community. No, he wasn't perfect, but you ain't either. So who else to spite our noses at anyone? You know what I mean? But he did more good than he did bad. And your leader, point to what he has done for his community. Who has he given back to? Who has he really showed love, supported, elevated from his community? But y'all rather have that in position. So we understand what this is about. This is not about cripple blood. This is not about gang members against gang members or any of that, man. This is about good versus evil. This is what this is about. This is about good versus evil. When we in war, people, I need y'all to understand that. We are under attack with this COINTELPRO-ish that's going on out here to dismantle us, because something is coming, y'all. Something is coming. And I think we all know. We should know. We need to get educated if we don't know. And they want to see us dismantled as much as possible so we can't fight back. So they want to take all of our leaders off the street. Our money, our power, our influence, they need that out of the way. They need that to evaporate, to take over our territories and get us out the way. You know what I mean? But we not going for it because we not stupid and we not sleep. So what we gonna do, man, is kick back, relax, man. Listen to this brother, man, break this down, and I'm gonna react throughout the content. So if you don't want to hear my reaction, a link to his video will be in the description of this video. So I better not see any of y'all in my comment section talking about just play the audio. I'm a reaction channel. Understand? Don't act slow this Monday morning. One more thing and we gonna get to it. This is Pay It Forward Monday. I do this every Monday. It's simple. Pay it forward in any matter, in any way that you see fit. It doesn't have to be somebody that you know. It can be a total stranger. That's even better. But pay it forward with a compliment. It doesn't have to always be financial. You may have a neighbor who needs their grass cut. I always say it. And they may not have the tools, the money, or the time to do it. And you have all of that. Pay it forward by doing something nice, doing something kind, an act of kindness from the bottom of your heart for somebody just because you can, just because you want to do it, not because you asked for it or you're trying to get something out of it. Just be genuine about it. It's Pay It Forward Monday. To those out there that participate, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. I really do. God blesses his own. He takes care of his own. Remember that. But anyway, we're going to get to the content, man. I told y'all about 7 minutes, 5-6 minutes. I lied. Sue me. But anyway, sit back, relax, man. Let's enjoy this content, man. Stand on the media. Let's get it.
But as we were speaking about, Wack 100 and Brick Baby found themselves several times having public discord about private matters. And so I like to tell young people who get money, who hustlers, entrepreneurs, who may have been weak and emotionally triggered and rage baited at different points in their life, that you can no longer do that when you get in position that you've been asking God to bless you for. You can no longer respond like you used to. I tell people you don't get the same version of me if God has blessed me on this level. So you're not going to be able to give people the same version of you. I would have smacked you for that, but now I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. As long as you don't harm me or hurt nobody I love, but
Facts.
outside of that, I'm going to stay away from you and pray for you. My energy is high, my frequency is high, and I'm trying to get some money. So I don't want nobody drawing me into this back and forth bullshit. Like, I would think that even if I done this for a month, 2 months, there's no way you gonna have me going back and forth with you for 3 years straight. That's not gonna happen. We gonna crash or something. We gonna see each other like 3 years straight and you just get to do that? Nah, we ain't gonna be able to do it like that. We ain't gonna be able to do it like that. I also know if you in Big U situation, it come with a lot of power. Like, see, some of y'all don't know what it's like to control that ugly corner. Like, that shit come with some power. A lot of them big homie niggas be abusing that shit. And I'm not saying Big U dumb, but a lot of niggas be abusing the little homies. They bitch overcharging them for shit. Like they just kind of be rough on them because they know they look at them a certain way and they need them. And validation exists on their stamp. And so they utilize that as a tool. Now, I don't want to completely push back on making check in and taxing for shooting videos in the neighborhood. You got to go get a permit from the state to shoot a video. And they don't got nothing to do with the video, but they make some money if I'm coming to shoot the video in this area. Tell me why that is. We'll get to that later. I also think it's interesting if we really want to drill it down and say, yo, what really does gang intervention look like? Big U has been arrested, and the allegations are that, you know, he was extorting people. And basically it was under the guise that, yo, if something happened to you, I'll get your money back. You don't got to pay me no more. Well, what is gang intervention? What happens when someone takes something from you and I can go get it? Am I supposed to do that for free? Am I supposed to go put me and my family in harm's way for free? They done took $70,000 from this nigga, and I'm finna send a couple of niggas that'll make that right. Is that supposed to be for free? Now, when they saying that he would set people up, that's a totally different thing. But we just talking about what does gang intervention look like when we deal with some of the more violent neighborhoods in America. Like, what does it really look like? I think we have to have a real conversation, right? You have to have people who had walked that path to even have the respect to have their words honored in a way that they need to be for them to even be effective. That's number one. Then number two, you have to also deal with what does it look like? Like practical, not in the boardroom, not on the paperwork. Like, what does it look like when something has just happened? Lil Ronnie just shot Lil Tony, and now somebody got to step involved. Unfortunately for black people, you got to rule with an iron fist. And that's unfortunate, but you got to be hard on black folks.
Facts.
They got to know violence is on the table at all times. If they don't know that, they don't move right. You will see a nigga act a certain way till the police show up. Because he know violence and jail is on the table. I'm still amazed that Big U turned himself in. That still has me flabbergasted. I'm floored at the fact that he went and turned himself in. I mean, again, that speaks volumes.
Wake it up.
Big U had his seatbelt on in the video while he was a fugitive. Come on now. Big U had his seatbelt on in the video when he was a fugitive. They calling him a fugitive. He talking on the thing with a seatbelt on.
Facts. You see how they tried to just they just muddy us up. Call that man a fugitive. How? He just was alerted that he was, you know, he had I want to say he was wanted. He had warrants. He needed to turn himself in. And he didn't take 2, 3, 4 days to do it. He did it immediately. He made sure his family and everything was in order before he did, but he turned himself in immediately. And they labeled him a fugitive. All right? And then they gonna just deny him bail every step of the way. He's not a threat to his community. But because of what these allegations say, we going off the lies of people who, let me tell you what these dudes was out here doing, right? They get a loose cannon who was around some things, completely just fabric. Wack has admitted it. The story about the FaceTime is fake. But at the time when they was pushing it, did anybody else get that impression? No, the ones who knew that was fake or thought that was fake is because we just not stupid. We not going for it. But boy, did they try to sell it though. Both of them. But now you see Wack 100 acting like hey man, I know it was fake. It was just content. That's content. So what they did was they made these, what Wack need to be worried about. Did Loose Cannon record any of them conversations that y'all had? You know, Wack, I know you gonna hear this. You ain't gonna say nothing because I'm a little channel. You don't want to blow me up. And you know I know exactly what to do if you ever did some shit like that. But anyway, you need to worry about did Loose Cannon record any of them conversations that y'all had planning, plotting, and strategizing on which lies you're going to try to bend and make truth, or I'll walk you through. So you know the same thing that Greg Kadings did to Keefe D. Yeah. Yeah, you better. Yeah, loose cannon. Y'all can call him what you want to call him, but I don't think he that slow. Salute to my man Demon Time Exotics, by the way. Salute to my guy. I know he got the work. He got them recordings. He got some things over there. I just know that wholeheartedly. Cause loose cannon ain't that slow as people think. So you better hope and pray that he didn't do that. Or we know he working. Maybe he was wired like you wired. I don't know. But we all know that that's what they was doing. They was plotting behind the scenes, coming up with these schemes, and then they play it out in the public. And once the feds hear it, they investigate. It doesn't have to be the truth. They just have to make it believable. They take some truth and bend it with a whole lot of lies and intertwine it to make it, because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in the court of law. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And he's already been sentenced. He's already been guilty in the eye of public opinion since all this has jumped. Because you see other channels, I'm not gonna say any names, but you see other channels going super hard with the big you out here extorting the people and how do you know that? How you know exactly? I don't care what the paperwork is saying, how they saying it in the paperwork. In them situations, everything ain't black and white. Right? Everything ain't black and white. Sometimes it could be we didn't brokered a deal. Me, A and B, we didn't brokered this deal. I'm holding up my end of the bargain. You not. I'm from the hood. I don't know about you. But when it comes to somebody owing me that money, I'm like 50. I need mine by Monday. Yeah. So how do we know there don't be situations like that these feds have found a clever way to make it as if he's extorting some of these people? Maybe these people ain't paying their month bills. And now it's time to pay. I don't know. But we acting like that don't go on in our neighborhoods now all of a sudden. We have amnesia that some of our closest loved ones and relatives don't move with that same similar energy for a just cause. And some of us even will say to ourselves, shit, well, nobody play with me like that when it come to my pay. I'm just saying, why is there a whole movement now that's just saying flat out, Big, you guilty? And he ain't said a word outside of them videos he put out to alert the people, to alert us that, man, these dudes, I've been telling you all along, but here's the proof now. So maybe y'all understand that these dudes is working. And it's not that they just working. It's what they are working for. What is your goal? What is your overall objective? Mark Stevens said, I'm gonna remember what he said. I'm gonna remember the quote because I heard it yesterday. And what's the end game? I think he was saying it was something like that. What's the end game? We know what they are. What's the end game? What are you doing this for? That's what we all need to be asking ourselves, questioning ourselves, trying to figure out what are y'all doing this for. Let's get back to the content.
Man, listen. Turning itself in, I guess that's the right thing to do. If someone in the neighborhood had this platform, because we're about to look at No Jumper, as they speak about the Big U indictment involving Brick Baby. I haven't put a name on it yet, but there's a feeling associated with how No Jumper and Adam, I think how he responds to these kind of events. There's something that feels sticky. It doesn't feel the best. Let's take a look at a discussion that Academics was having with Wack 100. Because Academics is kind of seeing the same thing I'm seeing, where it's like, yo, you drilled this narrative into the ground for 3 years going at Big U. Let's pay attention to what Academics said.
Created that. Crush Groove, we created that. I had contracts with Nick Masters at Live Nation. I would cut Big U in so Bro could eat. Because we were showing him how to hustle in the industry. Before he left, he wasn't in the industry. It was Key to Rock from 6-0. It was S-Mac from 6-0, the industry guys, right? There was no Big U. So when he came home, we embraced him, set him at the table, and we plugged him everywhere. This is why when I stepped away from him, all the industry went away from him.
You really feel like that?
That's a fact.
Everybody stopped fucking with
Go to
you.
2021.
I feel like a lot of people think it was the inverse of that,
No.
where a lot of people stopped fucking with you.
Who, me?
Yeah.
My plugs ain't stopped. You know that.
Definitely felt like you became a lot more controversial in the industry.
Yeah, but see, Adam right here is you're confusing it. You're confusing the business with the popularity. His popularity went down, but his infrastructure in his business is probably stayed intact. And that's kind of what I've been speaking on. When I say Wack 100 lost 70% of itself by effectively getting Big U out the paint, I'm not necessarily speaking about his business. I'm speaking about his popularity, his respect, the avenues that were available for him to do business. And it wasn't just Big U, it was this whole power up that he had to do to face Big U. He had to power up, but he ruined a lot of relationships along the way, changing his whole business structure and his approach in the market. Like, we talk about 21 Savage. We talk like you can name 15 different that Clubhouse. Wack 100 got him on Clubhouse. They had some kind of relationship prior to that, and it blew up on Clubhouse, and that's just that on that. And so Wack 100 had to reinvent himself in a way to be able to have this public discourse against Big U. And it was effective. Pay attention.
Because of that, though.
Because of what?
Because of you and Big U going to war.
Bro, no,
I don't take it as that.
crazy.
I think vice versa.
I was always, bro, he had no contracts, right? His only artist that got a deal, me and Game, got him the deal. He screwed it up, right? You got a dude that's struggling to try to keep his home from getting taken and all this other crazy stuff. Wack was all DJ K Slate, that's me. We put him with T.I. It was S-Mac plug. All my artists on my side. When he needed scooty bikes for the kids giveaway, who supplied them? Yo, could you get Game to promote my football league? Who got that done? Right? Yo, could you help me? Could Nip go on tour? Who got that done? Let's talk about it. Like, bro, he has no real connects in the industry.
I think here's a good question for Wack 100. If we're gonna believe all of the paperwork and some of the tactics that they say Big U utilizes on people, because if we're taking the feds at their word, no donation is genuine, no move that's being made on behalf of Big U is genuine. There's a lot of extortion going on. There's a lot of bullying going on. So my question to Wack is, when you list off a lot of these things that you've done for Big U, was it ever a feeling of extortion? Did Big U ever hit you with the, yeah, make it happen? You see what I'm saying? Because you name off a lot of shit you done for him. You know, you bought the kids this, you sent money there, you got these to perform here, I sent it. Like, that's a lot of work being done. And if we're taking the feds at what they say, Big U making do work. So I guess that's a question I'll leave out to the internet. Let's pay attention to some more.
Zero.
And you've always kind of been resentful of the fact that people treat him as if he's kind of on your level.
I'm not resentful that he ain't got more money than me. He ain't got no he has no plaques. He don't have no resources. He has no stamps. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Different, like,
He's not on my level with no damn music industry.
Wack's like one of the most
That's
influential
crazy.
voices.
I mean, Big U hasn't had successes in the entertainment world. People act like he does, but there's no
Because
real
we
receipt
put it
for
around him.
He did like one documentary style show.
That was my show. I gave it to him. They begged me for 18 months. That's the homie from Compton, Paul Roux show, Jim Bob. Jim Bob came to me for 18 months. Him and one of the writers for Power, begging me to do it. I didn't want to do it. No disrespect, because I didn't want the segment to end with music with me. I always told myself, when I do that type of style thing, I want to have my other thing going on, right? Which, like, now I can do it.
Yeah.
Because it's going on, right? But I said, Jim Bob, no disrespect, that's a G homie. But I said, go have Big U do it. He'll eat it up. He looking for the light.
Wait, Wack, let me ask you a couple questions, because I ain't gonna lie. It was reading through the entire indictment, I was fucking flabbergasted of just how accurate. And I'm not gonna lie, you said these things, and all these gas the trip here. They were like, what are you talking about? What AKKs? What this? Like, I'm reading through the shit. I'm like, this Wack is on the money.
June 23rd, 2023.
How do you find out about that, though?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you 100. Did I tell you I found out about it?
Whatever you want to say.
Okay. A certain person's wife is intimate with a Paru.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
You know it's the truth. Paru, dead homies. When I come off it, I'll FaceTime you.
So that's how you really found out?
When he went to jail, she called her significant other.
I think it was like an ex-boyfriend.
Ain't no
situation,
ex-boyfriend. Cause I know my homeboy and I know his situation. Right? It's Lil John's home. Lil John know I'm talking about. He's a very well-known dude. He's tied to a bunch of people, right? So when he went, I get the call. He said, hey, you know that boy called up, said, who that? Whoop. I said, how you know? He said, you know. I said, oh, okay. You serious? He said, yeah, I'm gonna send you his info. They come in, they catch him with a K. She gonna know because she at home. They catch him with a K. This how I knew. This is why when Brick was saying in one of these rooms, having a tantrum, I don't know how cuz be knowing he on some police shit. That's because you got a leak in your water bed. I don't wake up and say, the day while he was still in there, I'm on Clubhouse saying it.
Not gonna lie, man.
I called the day.
Now, we all know this man is lying, right? And this is to the ones out there that don't. They still want to believe that he being truthful about all this, his knowledge of things, and him not working with them people. Let me tell you how you know. There's several different examples out there from Du Sims and Yael from Damu Kiwe Conversations. They've been on his neck for years now, exposing who he is. But this is one of the ways you know when he just lying about everything. He had this much involvement, right? That's why I salute to my man who doing this video. You had so much involvement with him back when they were investigating. You spent money with, bought the kids helmets and shoulder pads and shoes and cleats, and you did all this stuff, and you really want us to believe that the feds never talked to you about anything at all to pertains to this indictment with Big U. You really want us to believe that. We know you've been on wiretap with them in the whole 9 yards. They didn't heard discussions of him talking about you. Actual wiretap content out there in the indictment about the time they ran up on him and he said Big U, every name Big U has, he said in them transcripts, because he was wired for sound. He knew that the feds was listening. He was letting the feds know who was just doing it to him, loud and clear. Come on, man, y'all can't say y'all don't see that. But he really wanted us to believe that he never was questioned by the feds about Big U at all. In the paperwork, they say his nemesis, his arch nemesis in the paperwork. But you want us to believe that they never came and had a conversation with you. Okay.
I called the date, the year. I told you what caliber.
And let me ask you, actually, I got a question for Adam on this. Because, like, even reading the whole thing in this is what they call the Big U enterprise. And even when Brick Baby comes up here to work, even certain conversations being allowed on this platform, they ever pull you to the side, like, again, not saying that it would be the cause of it, but it's exacerbating it, right? It's so adding context. Like,
all the time.
Y'all are coming in here and there's a part where they're like, hey, we knew this, but then on the No Jumper podcast, they corroborated it. And I'm like,
no, definitely. And just because I have it pulled up, I really want to just play this one clip that has been going kind of viral. That's like generally.
See, even this, right? Adam, I'm coming up there, but even this is nasty behavior. It's a room full of niggas that don't know this is nasty behavior. Now, granted, it's already out. He's gonna proceed to play a clip of Loose Cannon basically incriminating Big U on his platform. Even academics is saying, bro, you still doing this? Right? So we gonna get to the business behind all of this, because I think people really there's distance between people understanding exactly why things happen and what's happening. So it can get blurry because so many people are profiting off this shit. You got so many different narratives coming out to defend it. But the truth is the truth. When you get these gangbangers talking like this on these platforms, there's inevitable consequence. What happens is a lot of these individuals like Adam, Academics, Wack, and others, they know these dudes do not understand delayed consequence. They don't get it. And so they play real close to the sideline. Real close to the sideline. They flying real close to the sun, right? And so we're going to continue to watch Adam 22. Pay attention.
They considered to be like the most federal clip that anybody on the podcast has ever had. This is Loose Cannon.
So basically, it's like, cause he'll be like, he'll
talking about Big U.
Things like, we'll go and do something, and the same we do it to, show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the f*** they gonna get that? Oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cuz it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen that get like 20 guns. And when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like, he was doing like
You see Wack and Adam, you see Wack and Academics laughing. They know they got in the trick bag. Look at them. They know they got in the trick bag. Watch this.
I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like, he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his right-hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then, like,
people are pretty astonished because almost that exact thing is listed in
now
the
let me go back to what you asked me.
Conversation.
Yeah.
This is why when Loose Cannon was calling me about what 600 was doing, I'm looking at the phone like, you can't be serious. 600 then made a video with him saying what he was saying 2 seconds later and put that. So you're calling me about what 600 is saying. Brody, have you forgot the things you said?
So basically, though, they both was admitting that they were saying police shit.
600 wasn't saying police shit because
he was trying to contradict it. He was trying to say
600 was reporting what was on the internet. That wasn't on the internet.
That's his.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
Let me remind y'all how the story about the kid, rest in peace, RW, him being killed in Vegas and his body thrown in the desert, how that story came to the internet is because Wack was talking to these people who they say may be the family. He said he's not sure, but he heard that the family is doing an interview with Harvey over there at TMZ, and that's supposed to be coming out anytime now. We still haven't seen it yet, so we don't even know. That's to be determined. But he had a conversation with these women, and they were telling them that they found Big U's DNA under the young man's fingernails, which was false, which was not true. Right? Which makes me question the whole thing from the jump anyway. But then they tell him that the feds tell them, but tell them not to say anything. Then they run and tell Wack Why would they do that? They tell Wack 100 and then tell Wack do not say anything. Then he takes that and goes to Clubhouse, drops it on the 100 side, which again, those rooms are in a RICO right now as being wiretapped. So the feds have been listening to his rooms on Clubhouse. So he brings that to Clubhouse and runs it in one of his rooms, and he's saying that's how it hit the internet. See, he keeps saying that it hit the internet, but he's not explaining in detail how it hit the internet. That's flying over a lot of people's heads. He brought it to the internet. They brought it to the internet. That's how it came to the internet. So the question still is, who really gave you this information? How did you know so much of the right details of the situation? If the family told you that the blood was under the fingernails and that came to be not true, how that type of detail, how could you be off about that type of detail? That's an intricate detail, don't you think? Like, that's something, like, put yourself in those shoes. Would that be something that you would forget? Like you misunderstood? Blood under the fingernails, that's pretty point and direct. You know, something with blood on the ankle is totally different. Opposite body parts. But you tell him that they found Big U's DNA under the fingernails. That was a blank lie from the family. How could the family be so wrong, so off about that? Interesting, right? That's how that came to the internet. They brought it to the internet for this reason right here. Then he said that that they did that to warn them, because it wouldn't have been street, it wouldn't have been gangster if they knew that information but didn't share that information. Then we say, nigga, why you just didn't text them? Why you did that on a public stage, an open case? You brought that to the internet on an open stage. Why you didn't? He says he did. He texted his wife. That's a crime, y'all. Aiding and abetting. How do y'all, the ones out there who don't get it, how you don't understand that? That's a crime. A big crime. Yet this man is still free on podcast, running amok. Let's get back to the content. We're going to close it out with this.
His own personal story that he lived.
I know how to protect my team. How did it get to the internet? I made sure it went to the proper stages of getting into the internet. I ran a Clubhouse room. I played snippets, had my media team tape it, clip it, send it to YouTube, and I sent you 600. Now you can talk about it. It's on the internet.
All right, so Wack, when you hearing stories of Lou saying shit like that, so you
Wow.
didn't have,
That ain't my business.
no, but you didn't have any clue that he could be caught up in this RICO or anything that was going
How
on?
would I have? I had no idea.
I think Luz thought he was kind of.
I had no
and
idea.
that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing
didn't-
about.
Luz thinks that because it was 2-3 years ago, like oh, he got 20 guns. It's like, it just sounds like he's talking bullshit. But when the feds are actually able to put the case together and show that this is the type of thing they were actually doing, all of a sudden these
What they're
podcast
keying on in
become
that-
very important.
Know what they're keying on in that?
What?
When he says, realest thing Big U said on his turn-in little videos was, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, or not Brick Baby.
He said,
'cause
Loose
fucks with
Cannon,
Brick
I don't really fuck with him.
say
Brick
Brick
Baby,
Baby.
I don't really fuck with
But he
him.
fucks with Brick Baby.
But he,
No, he said he
but he
doesn't.
did say
He
in the
does- I
video.
don't
say
he
he
fucks
don't.
with Brick Baby. Do we fuck with Brick Baby?
Yes.
That's a fact.
Wait, he denounced
No,
it?
no,
He
he
denounced
fucks.
Brick Baby.
It is
More
really-
snitching.
Yeah, but he fucks with him. But Loose, he
More
don't.
snitching.
I mean, but it is alleged that, and that's why I'm so surprised that if I'm Brick Baby and I feel like him and you have a close personal relationship, I'm either quitting or I'm telling
No,
you
bro.
no more conversation about
Bro,
me.
no,
Like,
no.
He definitely needs to be careful.
It's alleged that he would rob somebody and then have these conversations. And first of all, they were tapping Big U's phone. And
They
would
tapped
break
it.
it down with him, which is pretty much kind of like extortion.
I don't think Brick
And
was doing
if-
any of that stuff while he was working here. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, but
or
if
at
you've
least
done
I
it
have
in
no
the
idea.
past,
Yeah.
why would you ever talk about that man's crimes? If your
a lot
crimes
of
are
these
linked to
dudes
his,
feel like if they get away with it
You
for
don't
a few
wanna-
weeks,
listen.
they're safe.
Brick never wanted to talk about it.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports.
Brick
And
was doing
if-
any of that stuff while he was working here. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, but if you've done it in the past,
Yeah.
why would you ever talk about that man's crimes? If your
A lot
crimes
of
are
these
linked to
dudes
his.
feel like if they get away with it
You
for
don't
a few
wanna-
weeks,
listen.
that they're safe.
Brick never wanted to talk about it.
This is one of the rare times academics is actually holding these guys accountable and having a real conversation. He's saying, listen, if Brick Baby is a part of your platform and he is an extension of Big U and they're under the same umbrella, why are you allowing Wack 100 to continue to have conversations that is corroborating crimes and criminal activity that's actually happening outside of content world? And how did this shit even end up in content? So even academics knows this. I think that's a tidbit of information for people to hold on to when he plays like he's obtuse when this topic comes up again. So he definitely understands how to create a narrative and how to push a narrative and all of these different things. He's even telling Adam, look, man, for the sake of Brick Baby, why you ain't stop this shit? Adam can't even understand it. He's basically responding to a question that academics is not even asking. He's saying that Brick didn't do any of that stuff when he was working here, and he definitely needs to be careful. That's not what Ack was saying. He's saying, why are you even creating a space where these kind of things can be discussed? I want to be clear that there's platforms a part of our culture, rather large platforms, that have a thirst for violence, thirst for clickbait. They claim to give artists, entrepreneurs, and businessmen, comedians otherwise, a safe space. But on the contrary, they create a structure where saying the wildest things and the most reckless things get you rewarded. And this is the loophole that Brick Baby get caught in, right? If he just so happened to got signed to Black Effect, that wouldn't happen. He just so happened to been on Joe Budden podcast, It's Up There podcast, any other show, but out there in the West Coast on No Jumper, because the environment is way too toxic. And so there's no way to duck the inevitable consequences. The platform that hands you the microphone to self-incriminate yourself, a lot of times will play innocent. They'll say, well, we don't tell people what to say, long as we're not in control of what people say. And I do think that's the truth. I second that. But I do want to speak to the subconscious element, because there's a subconscious element to creating content, especially in particular in certain environments. And there's an incentive to crash out by way of algorithm shares, endorsements, and rebookings. So the incentive to crash out, now it's not announced, but it's implied. And I think when we have these conversations in the culture, far too many times we try to ignore what's implied by you big ass niggas. Yeah, y'all ain't got nuts to say what y'all supposed to say to nobody's face. Y'all gonna just do sucker shit, and sucker shit implies certain things. And so it's on the real to pick up sucker shit you doing. Oh, he done turned to a sucker. So it's not announced, but it's implied. It's very interesting. The platform will roll out the red carpet and it'll go right into a courtroom. And I want to be clear with all of y'all. Anybody that speaks crazy on these interviews about cases, they don't beat their case. Young Thug got lucky, but he never had any real interviews talking about criminal activity. He may have said something in songs, no interviews. You that get on here and speak out of your mouth that's outside of the guys in entertainment, and you done start using allegedly, and I'm gonna get to allegedly who cursed our culture with allegedly. I'm gonna tell you later on, because you people don't even know where you got shit from. You just adopt it and use it and think that you shield yourself. But we'll get to that in a minute. This is a very perverse incentive and system that they create. Now, I don't think that a black man can do this. I think if a black man had this platform, they would already be in there shooting at him, holding him hostage, kidnapping him, like unaliving him. Like if this was a black man with these platforms, in particular dealing with gangbangers, because what Adam 22 is doing with gangbangers is what academics did with rappers. You can argue that some of them Chicago gangbangers, they were into beef and certain things, But what Adam 22 is doing with no jumper is gangbanger on gangbanger. That is gonna spill over in the streets every single time. But it's so close to reality, his audience has a thirst for it. You know, for me, man, I look at these things and it frightens me that people are this comfortable sitting across from a white guy saying some of these things. Let's listen to a little more.
So I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna put a link to this video because it's about an hour and some change long, and I don't want to take this young brother's whole video, man. I want him to get his likes, his subscriptions, his love for the work that he puts in to this artwork that he does, man. Salute to that brother right there. Was he not dropping dimes, dropping that wisdom, that knowledge that this young generation need to follow and listen to and understand? Yeah, listen to me. When it comes to Adam 22, you can tell right off the bat. He makes little references to us African Americans. This is my African American, you know, just like Donald Trump. And these dudes, they allow him to do that. You know why? For the money. That's no different than a hooker. You know? That's what a whore would do. No disrespect. I'm just telling you that's what I can reference. I can give you an example of what is what could be an example of that. So people can understand where I'm coming from with this. So you just gonna accept anything. You're gonna allow him to talk to you any kind of way for the money. You're gonna let him take our culture and just misuse our culture. You know, act like he's a part of the culture, but he really don't give a damn about the culture. He says Brick Baby is his boy. That's his buddy. That's my friend. Like so was AD. Yeah, you see what that got? You see what happened there? See, but AD was smart. He got away from that and never looked back. And I'm not saying that Adam don't have some level of appreciation for him, or he doesn't look at some of these guys that he's around as friends. I'm not saying that, but if you really had love for the people that you work with, that's why people say, man, when you run a business, man, you should never. There should be a space between you and your employees. You never get too close to them because, you know, emotionally things can get haywire. And and I understand that philosophy, and that is true. You know what I'm saying? But you can still have enough love and appreciation for your employees / friends that you don't set them up for dummy missions. You know, to say I'm going to put a microphone in front of you, sit back and ask you the questions you don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask you the questions. And if you answer those questions, that's on you. That's just so disingenuous to me. Because you could take the approach of, I'm not going to ask you no incriminating questions. I will ask you some of the most, raging type of questions, some controversial type of questions, some, push you right to the edge type of questions. But what I will never do is ask my friend, my buddy, my pal, people that I appreciate, incriminating questions that could put you or lead you behind them bars. Because when you on them cameras and you on a stage like that, it's lights, camera, action. And we understand that our emotions can get the best of us, that will make us sometimes slip. So why even put somebody that you care about, that you appreciate, in those positions? Why would you do that? For an example, he will bring some of Brick Baby's enemies to the show. He'll bring somebody that you don't get along with opposite, i.e. or somebody. He did that to Wack 100. He had Wack on one time, and then what I look up the next week, he had Jay Diggs on. You see, he plays those little games with us, and we allow him. He's the puppet master. But see, Wack came in and really shook him up, and really shook it up. And it's just unfortunate, man, that we have a platform like that is, I don't know about now. Is it needed now? Tell me in the comment section. Do we need No Jumper now? Do we really need No Jumper? Or is it time for podcasts like Figmunity? What's my brother's name right here? Or It's Up There podcast, and who else we got out there? Damu Keyway Conversations. Who else we got out there, man? Community. The Munchie Bees. Is it time for those type of podcasts and those type of channels to replace what we have there in No Jumper? Tell me in the comment section what you think, because there was a time that it was needed. I'm not so sure if we there anymore. And maybe that might be why he's getting out of Dodge. That could be some April Fools. That could be some. I don't know. And I really at this point don't care, because I already seen enough and know enough. That I don't have any attachment to that whatsoever anymore, because I see what that is. I know what that is. I just wish we wake up as a people and stop fighting us. Stop fighting us. No, we not all gonna get along. We not all gonna like each other. We not all gonna rock with one another. But at the end of the day, we all should have one common goal that we all share. The true freedom, the peace, an opportunity at a good life, a peaceful life, at least amongst us. We may not get it outside of us, but damn it, can we just have it amongst us? Solidarity, standing together, speaking our minds, not going for anything and falling for anything. And if we go out there and do something that we know we ain't supposed to do, bear that responsibility. Don't think it's okay to then flip and throw someone else under the bus for your shit. Because that's exactly why we here today. It wasn't right what they did, man. To Big U. That was foul. It was out of line. And again, I stand on it. You don't like it, you have to stand on the media. And if you don't like it, get off my channel. I don't care. I don't care what you say. That was foul. The way they did it was foul. Cowards. Real cowards. But karma will always catch you, man. I don't care how long it takes. When you least expect it, boom, there go karma. Karma right on your ass. And it's coming. Again, and I'ma close. I hope that not me. I hope Wack and whoever else was involved in this coup get what they deserve. But Wack better hope Loose Cannon wasn't as smart as to record the plan, plotting, and strategizing of all of what transpired, because I keep telling y'all from day one, Wack 100 is the orchestrator of this big Eureka. His fingerprints is all on it. Them 3 fingers, all on it. All on it. If you made it this far, this video, a long video, so I'm gonna cut it short, man. It's short. The irony in that, man. If you knew and you made it this far, man, thank you. I really appreciate you, man. Y'all just don't know, man. It'd be hard for me to do this stuff sometime, man, because I want every video I do to mean something that from this point forward, man, because it's that important to me and it's that important to us, so it's hard for me to see some of these plays and these these weak ass moves that they do as something that I want to do content to. But that's just me. There's plenty of other channels out there that's covering that stuff, so I'll let y'all handle that. But I'm gonna stay on the more meaningful stuff, man. But yeah, I'm gonna bring y'all some heat, man. But I just want to say thank you again, man. I appreciate you. If you're new to my channel, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment in this video, please share the video, hit the notification bell. You will be notified when I drop videos. To everybody, man, that support me, the whole Stand on the Media family, the foundation, the team. Salute to all of y'all, man, from the bottom of my heart, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all just don't know. Anything that I can do for y'all, if y'all thinking about starting the channel, man, just reach out, man. I have no problem supporting, no ego here. Understand me. We need to bring raw and authenticity back, man. Salute to Deuce Sims, Yaya, the whole Damo Keyway Conversations, Dose to Reality TV, Scandalous Los Angeles, the GOAT. Last but not least, it's Up There Podcast. Salute to you, brother, for this content, man. You are cooking. We'll put a link to his video in the description of this video. Please go watch the end, because as soon as I'm done with this and I get it packaged and ready to go, I'm going back to listen to the whole video, because, man, my man is very insightful, impactful, thorough. Like I told you in the beginning, he's very good at what he does, man. Go over there, support that brother, man. Get him to the mountaintop. I'll be up there soon, brother. Don't you worry about me. I'll be up there soon. But get him up there to the mountaintop. Till I see y'all, man, on the other side. We're gonna let CS2 back tell us what he all about, and we out.
But then again, you know how the feds work. We don't care how many chickens or turkeys you pass out. Yeah. We don't care how many book bags you done passed out. What we care about is these wiretaps. We care about these confidential informants. And we care about your actions within the means of the law.
Stand on the Media, District 13 Media. Let's go.